Thanks, Walter. As the Minister for Digital Transformation, I get to give my speeches on one of these. I hope it works. Congratulations, Walter, on what you've put together here and all the other organisers. It really is terrific. But congratulations to all of you for being here, because turning up is what counts, and giving people a say when they're turning up is what we're talking about here today. Now, early in September, I gave a speech, as Walter said, at the Sydney Institute, in which I called for urgent democratic reform of the New South Wales Liberal Party. I said that I'd been a proponent for many years, and I seriously considered committing myself to reform of the party as an alternative to entering Parliament a number of years ago. I said that reform was not only desirable, but absolutely necessary to respect and engage our members, all of you, for the long-term future of our party and our nation. We all know that a strong Australia depends on a strong Liberal Party. Now, more urgently, I said that without re-engaging our membership, we put at risk the next federal and state elections, where we, in seeking third terms in both parliaments, are more vulnerable than we have been in recent times. Now, since that time, the debate has raged, and I think that's a good thing. I was delighted to see John Howard come out unequivocally again, he has to do it many times, in favour of party reform. I was delighted to see that the next day the Premier told The Australian in no uncertain terms, and I quote, "The membership deserves the right, every single one of them deserves the right to have a say on the member that represents them." And we've heard that again from him a moment ago. He went on to say that he was determined to ensure the timetable for reform be brought forward as quickly as possible. I was also delighted when the Prime Minister, consistent with previous comments, said this week that he supported every member getting a vote on important decisions in the party, including pre-selections. So their views, along with many, many others, many Conservatives and moderates, monarchists and Republicans, the whole gamut of the party, put paid to the silly argument that this is a proxy war by individuals or by particular factions, because it is not. Now, most good, clear-thinking people know the membership must have a say, must have more say, and the rot must stop. Most of all, I'm absolutely delighted to be here today, reaffirming our commitment to reform. Now, thanks to many in this room, we have real momentum, and we have momentum at a sweet spot in the electoral cycle, where we have several years before state and federal elections, and this gives us a rare opportunity to get our internal business in order. But we need to seize the opportunity. We live in a time when politicians, I hate to say it, are on the nose, when faith in mainstream political parties has collapsed, when many voters and supporters are wrestling with their faith in traditional politics and conservative politics. At the last election, we gained strong support in our traditional strongholds in the north and east of Sydney. I'm afraid to say this was not true in the outer suburbs and in the regions, and that's where elections are won and lost. I see members and supporters in these areas whose patience is wearing thin and who will simply walk away. The truth is, the organisation has absolutely no choice, and this is why we must act now. But I also believe that the one thing that could stand in our way is us. Prior to entering Parliament, my paid job was to advise organisations on change. I spent the best part of 20 years travelling the world and advising and implementing change in a range of organisations, both large and small. And I learnt that implementing change is immeasurably difficult. And it's even more difficult to do well. There's a couple of golden rules. The first is not to make it personal and to be respectful of those who are against us, even when we believe, as we do in this case, they are dead wrong. Our arguments stand well and truly on their own. Outsiders who wander into this debate say, what? In the 21st century, you're fighting for democracy within a mainstream political party in a Western country? Are you kidding? Now, the second related rule is that change must be and must be seen to be in the longer term interest of the organisation and, in this case, the nation. These reforms, as I said, are about a better Liberal Party and a better nation. They're not about individuals and they're not about personal agendas, and they can't be about personal agendas. When we design the reform package, it can't be skewed to any individuals or factions. The reforms must be real and broad-reaching, but must also respect incumbent parliamentarians. And this need for respect applies to all sides of the debate. We don't need faceless party officials, as we saw this week, briefing journalists that this event is a gathering of fringe-dwelling extremists. The only fringe dwellers are those that don't believe in democracy. And they don't believe in democracy despite its gift of freedom and prosperity across the Western world over recent centuries. Fellow Liberals, now is the time for change. Now is the time for a more transparent, engaged and democratic New South Wales Liberal Party.